Let us see some of the applications of kinematics which were asked in previous IIT examinations just now. Here it is a question asked in AIEEE 2002. As per the question, the data given is, if a body loses half of its velocity, if a body loses half of its velocity on penetrating three centimeters in a wooden block. Then how much will it penetrate more? Before coming to rest? This is the question. So as per the question, it loses half of its velocity on penetrating through a distance of 3 centimeters in a wooden block. Suppose this is the wooden block, the bullet or a body which is penetrating through it. It has moved through a distance of 3 centimeters. While it is entering, its speed is v. Once it reaches this position, its velocity becomes v by 2. How much will it penetrate more before coming to rest? So it is penetrating more through a distance x, where the final velocity becomes 0. I need to find this x. What is the procedure I should follow? Clearly, the velocity of the body is decreasing with respect to time. It is under retarded motion. So we can use the equation of motion, v square minus u square equal to 2as. Final velocity is v by 2 whole square minus initial velocity is v square, which is equal to 2 into, acceleration is not known, the distance it travelled is 3 centimeters. So it becomes v square by 4 minus v square is equal to 6a. That is minus 3v square by 4 is equal to 6a. This will go for 2 times. a is equal to minus v square by 8. This is the retardation with which the bullet or the block is moving. Small block moving inside the bigger block. Now, again I may use the same equation. Final velocity should become 0. Initial velocity is v by 2. That means only this part of journey I am taking. V square minus u square is equal to 2 into a into the displacement is x. So it is minus v square by 4, that is equal to 2 into a value we just calculated it as minus v square by 8 into x. So minus and minus gets cancelled, v square and v square gets cancelled, it will go for 2 times, 2 also gets cancelled. So x is equal to 1 centimeter. It need to penetrate 1 more centimeter before coming to the state of rest. This is the solution for the given question. In this question, we should understand in which motion the bullet is moving inside the block. That is clearly retarded motion. And what is the retardation? Retardation or negative acceleration, both are same. So by knowing the retardation value, we are able to calculate how much more distance it should travel before coming to rest. I hope everybody understood this. One more question asked in IEEE 2002. From a building, two balls A and B, two balls A and B are thrown such that A is thrown upwards and B is downwards, both are vertically. A is thrown upwards and B is thrown downwards vertically. If VA and VB are their respective velocities, if VA and VB are their respective velocities, on reaching the ground, then they gave four options. First option is VP is greater than VA. Second option, VA is equal to VB. Third option, VA is greater than VB. Fourth option, their velocities depend on their masses. So this is the question. We need to solve it. The solution is simple. Here is a building. From the building, one ball is thrown vertically upwards. It's ball A. Ball B is thrown vertically downwards. So ball A will go like this and it will reach the ground like this. It will reach directly to the ground like this. Upon reaching the ground, the final velocity of A is VA, final velocity of B is VB. We need to give the expression for final velocities. And you know that whenever object is thrown vertically upwards with certain initial velocity u, okay, what will happen? Its acceleration should be taken as minus g, because it is under retarded motion. Clearly here B is thrown downwards. It is not dropped. If it is dropped, initial velocity should be 0. It is thrown downwards. So it is thrown down with the same initial speed. Let me take u. So in this case, A should be taken as plus g, because it is under accelerated motion. Whenever you want final velocity, they are passing through the same building height. Its displacement should be taken as minus h, as it is thrown upwards but it is falling downwards. The displacement means shortest distance between initial position and final position. So the displacement of second ball is taken as h only. S is equal to H. So you know that the relationship between final velocity and initial velocity, you can take, otherwise you can take S is equal to anything. Which one let me take here? Better you take V square minus U square is equal to 2AS. Why I selected this? Here time involvement is not there. Okay, on reaching ground, what is the relationship between their velocities? That is the question. So final velocity, if I am speaking for ball A, final velocity of A square minus initial velocity of A square is equal to 2 into A should be taken as minus G, S should be taken as minus H. So final velocity of A square is equal to U square plus 2GH. Or if you want VA, that should be square root of U square plus 2GH. The same treatment if I do for second ball, VB square minus U square is equal to A should be taken as minus G, S should be taken as H. So VB square is equal to U square minus 2GH. So VB is equal to square root of U square minus 2GH. So if you observe clearly, velocity of A should be greater than velocity of B. Velocity of A should be greater than velocity of B. So I should go with this option. Clearly, fourth option, velocities depends on their masses. In this formula, nowhere mass term is there. So the velocities are independent of mass of the bodies. So fourth option is wrong. Clearly, VA is greater than VB. So ball A hits the ground with more speed than ball B. So this is the solution for the given question. In this problem, actually in the question, they did not mention about the initial velocities of the two balls. If the initial velocities of the two balls are identical, this is the solution for that question. As they did not mention the initial velocities, you can take the solution in this way also. If initial velocities are not taken into consideration, then as per law of conservation of energy, the ball initially it possesses kinetic energy, finally it gains, initially it possesses potential energy, finally it gains kinetic energy. Initial energy is potential energy, that is mgh, that is equal to half mv square. M gets cancelled. Even in this case also mass is getting cancelled. So final velocity is root 2gh. For both the balls, you will get the same VA and VB. Final velocities are identical. So as the question is not provided with initial velocities, whether they are identical or not, this could be one possible answer. If we consider both are thrown, one is upwards and another one is downwards with the same initial velocity, this is the answer. So either you have to go for this or you have to go for this. Okay. If they mention both are thrown with same velocity, this is the possible solution. If the initial velocities are not mentioned, we doesn't know about the initial velocities, then this is the possible answer. So depending on the question, we have to go for the answer. So the possible solution for this question are these, but this assumption we made, both are having same initial velocity of projection. Here no initial velocity consideration is done. So you should take care while solving such questions. One more question. AIEEE 2002. In the same year, we have one more question from this. A ball whose kinetic energy is E. A ball whose kinetic energy is E is projected at an angle is projected at an angle 45 degrees to the horizontal. Degrees to the horizontal. The kinetic energy of the ball at highest point of its flight is. The kinetic energy of the ball at the highest point of its journey is. The options given are option A E, option B E by root 2, option C E by 2, option D 0. So I should go with the solution. The solution is simple. First of all, let us understand this question is on the basis of projectile motion. In case of projectile, the kinetic energy of projected body is E initially. They did not give the velocity, they gave the initial kinetic energy, and at highest point what is the kinetic energy they are asking. So Ke initial is E. Ke final at this point is how much? Kinetic energy at this point, how much? That's what they are asking. And the angle of projection is 45 degrees. This is the maximum highest point. At this point, what is the kinetic energy they are asking? So energy is a scalar quantity. If suppose U is the velocity of projection, kinetic energy initial is given by half mu square. Its value is given as E. At highest point, it gains some potential energy. Initially it is in contact to the ground, only kinetic energy it is having. Once it reaches to the highest point, it possesses kinetic energy as well as potential energy. So, the potential energy at this point is mg h max. You know the formula for maximum height, u square sine square theta by 2g. Will you agree with me? U square sine square theta by 2g. Then potential energy is half m, potential energy is mg h maximum u square by 2g sine square 45 degrees. So gg gets cancelled. So half m u square 1 by root 2 whole square. So that is 1 by 4 mu square. So as per law of conservation of energy, initially it possesses only kinetic energy, that is equal to potential energy final plus kinetic energy final. So kinetic energy final is equal to kinetic energy initial minus potential energy final. Half mu square minus 1 by 4 mu square. Therefore, it is 1 by 4 mu square. So in the place of mu square, I can keep 2e. 1 by 4 into 2e. That is nothing but e by 2. So e by 2 is the answer for the given question. E by 2 is the answer for the given question. So in this question, we should have the knowledge of formula for kinetic energy half mu square. We should have the knowledge for maximum height u square sine square theta by 2g. And also, we should have knowledge for potential energy, and we should have the knowledge of law of conservation of energy. By knowing all these ideas, we are able to solve this question. I hope you understood the solution for this question. One more question, let us discuss. So this question, it is telling that speeds of two identical cars are u and for u at specific instant. Speeds of two identical cars are u and for u at a specific instant. At a specific instant. The ratio of the respective distances, the ratio of the respective distances at which the cars are stopped. From that instant. From that instant. So options are given like this: 1:1, second one; 1:4, third one; 1:8, fourth one; 1:60. So the speeds of two identical cars are u and for u at a specific instant, the ratio of their respective distances at which the cars are stopped from that instant. As the cars are identical, let me take the same retardation is given to them. Initial velocity of the first car is u and final velocity of the first car is 0. Initial velocity of the second car is 4u, final velocity. So that means the velocity of the first car is changing from u to 0. Velocity of the second car is changing from 4u to 0. If same retardation is applied, first let me calculate the retardation of first car. V square minus u square is equal to 2as1. Then for second car, again v square minus u square is equal to 2as2. So this equation will become 0 square minus u square is equal to 2as1. This is 0 square minus 4u whole square is equal to 2as2. If I take the ratio on both sides, u square by 16u square, minus minus gets cancelled, 2as1 by 2as2, 2a gets cancelled, U square gets cancelled. S1 is to S2 is equal to 1 is to 16. This is the solution for the given question. Very simple question. So you should be in a state to solve any question. What assumption I have taken? Same retardation, because same type of cars means same type of braking system will be there, same sort of retardation will be given for both. So with that assumption, I got the solution as 1 is to 16. I hope I reached you. One more question let us discuss. This question, it was asked in IEEE 2003. The coordinates of moving particle at an instant of time are given. The coordinates of a moving particle at any instant t are given by x is equal to alpha t cube and y is equal to beta t cube. The speed of the particle at that instant of time t is given by the speed of the particle at time t is given by. So the options given for this question are 3t into square root of alpha square plus beta square, then 3t square into square root of alpha square plus beta square. Option C, t square into square root of alpha square plus beta square. Option D, root over alpha square plus beta square. So this is the problem given to us. Clearly, the x coordinate of the particle is a function of time. Even y coordinate of the particle is also a function of time. So how to solve this problem? Here, this problem can be solved easily by using differentiation method. We are asked to find the speed of the particle. The speed of the particle, let it be v. It can have two components, vx I cap, vy j cap. So velocity in x direction is nothing but dx by dt. That is nothing but d by dt of alpha t cube. That is alpha into 3t square. Similarly, y component of the speed is nothing but dy by dt. That is d by dt of beta t cube. That is equal to beta into 3t square. Now, if I substitute them here, I will get the vector form of velocity, but I need magnitude, that is nothing but vx square plus vy square, that is square root of 3 alpha t square whole square 3 beta t square whole square. So then 3t square whole square can have a root, 3t square out, root of alpha square plus beta square. So this is the solution for the given question. I hope I reached you. It's very simple question with simple solution. try to solve similar questions in your material. One more question. A boy playing on the roof of a 10-meter high building throws a ball at 10 meters per second at an angle 30 degrees with the horizontal. How far from the thrown point will the ball be at height of 10 meters from ground? Clearly they gave G value 10 meters per second square. Answers for this question: 5.2 meters, option B; 4.33 meters, option C; 2.6 meters, option D; 8.66 meters. So these are the four options given for the question. So we should solve this question. This is quite simple and easy question. Let us understand the situation in the question. This is a building. The height of the building they gave 10 meters. The boy has thrown the ball like this. He has thrown at an angle 30 degrees. And the ball may follow this path to reach the ground. But they are asking how far the ball be at a height of 10 meters from the ground. That means, like, this is 10 meters, this is 10 meters, this is horizontal. You need to find this distance. This is nothing but a range. And you are given that it is thrown at 10 meters per second at an angle 30 degrees. So range formula is u square sine 2 theta by g for oblique projectile on horizontal plane. So that is 10 square sine 2 into 30 is by g 10. 10 and square gets cancelled. 10 sine 60 degrees. Sine 60 is root 3 by 2. That is 5 root 3. That is 5 into 1.732. .660 meters. So this is the answer for the given question. So try to solve the various questions given in your material, and as you are provided with some previous competitive questions related Arihant question bank, even in that question bank also you will find such models. Try to solve them, and whenever you find the doubt, interact with me to get the clarification related to that question. Thank you.